Buenas tardes, amigos y amigas, and in this video I'm going to give you some additional information that I didn't have the last time I did a video about San Miguel de Allende. Now there's an increased list of authors that I'm going to give you. I did mention a few in a previous video. For those who aren't aware, I lived in San Miguel de Allende for 6 months from 2018 to 2019. But I want to give you this information. It's also going to be about the art movement. I gave you information about that too. But here's some more things about the writers there. Now, San Miguel de Allende in Mexico was a significant location for Beat Generation writers and poets, particularly in the 1950s and 60s. Several key figures, including Jack Kerouac, Allen Ginsberg, William Burroughs, and Neil Cassidy, spent time there. Cassidy, famously depicted as Dean Moriarty in Kerouac's On the Road, even died there in San Miguel. Now, moving along, Beat luminaries and their San Miguel connection. Neil Cassidy, a central figure in the Beat movement. Cassidy's life and experiences heavily influenced Kerouac's writing. He died in San Miguel in 1968, with the circumstances of his death near the railroad tracks remaining somewhat enigmatic. And I did mention that in the last video, but going along here, Jack Kerouac Kerouac visited San Miguel multiple times, and the city is mentioned in his work. Allen Ginsberg, like Kerouac, spent time in San Miguel. William Burroughs also spent time in San Miguel, drawn to the city's creative atmosphere. Ken Kesey, author of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, was another notable Beat figure associated with San Miguel. Now, before I go further on, I'm going to give you a list of other types of writers, different types of writers. I want to say that a lot of those guys would go over to the Berlin Bar over in central San Miguel. Now, I had went to the Berlin Bar a few times, I think about 3 times, and it is a beautiful place. I don't know if it's still there, but it was beautiful. It's really kind of like swanky, a very swanky place. I don't know what it was like when they were there, but it was quite a beautiful place. So moving along, and here's more authors, but these authors are listed as beyond the Beat generation. While the Beat influence is strong, San Miguel de Allende has a broader history of attracting writers and artists. Mary Oliver, the Pulitzer Prize-winning poet, used San Miguel as her retreat. Laura Jane Fraser, the author of An Italian Affair, has a home there. Joseph Boyden, the Canadian novelist, has spent summers in San Miguel. Elizabeth Rosner, the novelist and poet, divides her time between San Miguel and Berkeley. Vance Packer, the author of The Hidden Persuaders, also resided in San Miguel. And also here, last one here, W.D. Snodgrass, the 1960 Pulitzer Prize winner for poetry. So, quite an impressive list. Now, it says down here, San Miguel has a literary hub. The city's vibrant arts and culture scene, along with its historical significance, continues to attract writers and artists today. The San Miguel's Writers' Conference is a testament to its enduring appeal as a literary destination. Now, I never went there to the Writers' Conference, but I used to go to a workshop, a weekly workshop for writers, where people would get up at a podium and they would talk about their literature, Mexican writers and poets, and also expat writers and poets. And that was very, very interesting. And there was also a meet and greet where you can meet the authors, both Mexican and expats, and they would talk about their books with you. Really nice. And they did book signings where if you bought one of their books, you could get your book signed by them. I bought 2 books. They were $10 each, and they're both pretty good books. But and if I didn't mention, the Berlin Bar was a place where a lot of the Beat poets and Beat Generation poets and authors used to get together. Okay, now moving along to art here. This is from a different article. This one is not as recent, but this one is from last year, and it says here, beautiful picture here, a photo actually, and it says here, in the mid-20th century, San Miguel emerged as a center for the study of arts and languages, attracting people from all over the world thanks to the work of American World War II veterans. Now, I did talk about in the last video, or one of the videos I made about San Miguel. I did mention the World War II veterans. They would go there after the war, and it was an emerging art movement. And then also Sterling Dickinson. I mentioned Sterling Dickinson. Well, once again, let me read this, please. In the mid-20th century, San Miguel emerged as a center for the study of arts and languages, attracting people from all over the world thanks to the work of American World War II veterans. Now, I took 4 sessions of language and of learning Spanish, and that was at the one of the bibliotecas in the city, and that was on Insurgentes. But that was toward the end of my stay there. And I also want to mention the art movement. There are expat artists who own galleries there. I know of 2 of them. I do know an expat who works for a Mexican art gallery also, but I lived in the San Antonio district. They're called districts down there. I lived off of Verhale. Now, when I would walk from Verhale and I wanted to get closer into Central, I would take Calle Umra. Now, Calle Umra, beautiful walk, but it's a little bit steep. But if I wanted to get over to the Ancha, to San Antonio, the Ancha there on the San Antonio Boulevard, I would take the Spiritual Pathway, which the Spiritual Pathway is beautiful. There's different homes you'll walk by, a lot of flowers, beautiful. And then once you get up there, you're going to find an art gallery, and that art gallery at that time, at least I don't know if it still is, was owned by an expat. She had beautiful art. She actually owned the whole home. It was a huge home, and the downstairs was an art gallery. It was pure art, was beautiful. There was another lady from New York I met. She also had an art gallery, but that was more like on Zacatecas at that time, and very nice, both very nice women, and very good artists as well. But what else did I want to say? You go further down Zacatecas, you're going into Central a little bit more. You'll find the El Salto Hotel. That's where they used to have a film theater. Every day they show films there. But going down the street there is an art gallery right on the corner. Beautiful art gallery, Mexican artists, all Mexican art there. Really good artwork. Artists in art. But then you're going to find those all over San Miguel. You're going to find a lot of different art galleries, pottery shops, ceramic shops. You'll just find a lot over there. It's for those who haven't been there, check it out. It's a cosmopolitan city. Those who don't know, large city. Is the culture there and the arts there are just amazing. I may go back for a visit again at some point. I really miss it sometimes. But I did want to say I did meet some artists, and one in particular I got to know. I met him. He was painting the big parochia there in the plaza area, right in the Jardín. It's called the Jardín over there. Him and his husband, they were professional painters, but the one I'm talking about, one of them was teaching his husband, but the one who was the teacher actually told me that he used to do. He was commissioned. He was originally from Minnesota, moved to New York, and he was commissioned to do paintings for a very famous clothing designer. And I can't mention that name or the names, but you'll find more famous people there. There are a lot of good expat artists there. They have their easels there. They pull out their easels, get out there every day. You'll find people in different parts of Central painting. Some of them didn't start learning painting until after getting there, and some of them already were painters, and some of them professional too. But you'll find a lot of painters and artists there. I started actually in Cuernavaca before I went to San Miguel de Allende. When I get home at night, I'd spend about a half an hour just drawing black and white sketches on small pieces of paper. Later on, when I went to San Miguel, I got pencils and I went down to a place, I can't remember, it might be El Pato's, I'm not sure. It's over by Via Organica. They have a place where you can get art supplies. I picked up colored pencils and I started coloring in a lot of the sketches that I was making. I did later on go to Ajijic, where I continued sketching and gave it up after doing YouTube for a while. I'm going back to it. I will be going back to it, but I'll be taking painting classes when I return to Mexico. And I have mentioned it in other videos. I paid money in advance for a course. But also want to say, when they were talking about arts and languages, I did go and take, if I didn't mention it already, I took 4 sessions of Spanish at one of the bibliotecas. I know they have at least 2, but one of them, the one that was on Insurgentes, I went in there and I got 4 sessions of Spanish, and that was right before I left to come back up to the States. So with that, I want to say thanks for viewing. There's a lot going on there, and it is a beautiful, beautiful place. What an experience. I can feel it now as I'm talking about it, and I get pictures, I get these, and it's quite a vision, and it's a beautiful place. And as I mentioned, I'm probably, maybe going there, returning there for a visit at some point. I don't know what, but with that, tap on that notification bell. You'll be notified of upcoming videos. And thanks for viewing. Adios, amigos.